We have updated our intelligence assessment of Iran's missile programs, which emphasizes the threat posed by Iran's short and medium-range missiles, which are capable of reaching Europe. This new ballistic missile defense program will best address the threat posed by Iran's ongoing ballistic missile defense program.
Just last week, you had an senior defense administration official crowing before the House Armed Services Committee that, oh, we're going to have a missile defense system to cover all of Europe and additional protection in the United States by 2018, and being proud of that. And you go, okay, so we're going to have a defense by 2018, and they're going to have a missile by 2015. This is what the administration is not saying. But 2015 basically means that we are living inside the margin of error.
Well, a new Defense Department report says just that Iran could have an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of hitting the U.S. by 2015. Now, they did have a rocket test back in February of 2010. You may remember they put up this rocket, and it was successful in Iran. The first soundbite you heard there was the president explaining the new intelligence assessment after the decision to scrap missile defense plans in Poland and the Czech Republic back in September. What about this new report and all of the things in it? Let's bring it up. Charles.
Well, it looks like we're back to an estimate of 2015, which is roughly what the Bush administration had said, that Iran would go intercontinental by 2012 to 2015. Now, what's remarkable is that 11 months ago, the Obama administration issued a national intelligence estimate in which all of a sudden it revised the assessment and said, oh, the old one, the Bush administration, was too alarmist. This is not going to happen until the second half of the decade, 2015 to 2020. And it was that rationale the administration then used, the president then used, when he unilaterally and abruptly canceled the agreement that we had with the Poles and the Czechs to build a missile defense system that would precisely be designed to shoot down an intercontinental rocket from Iran headed over to the United States. So that rationale now collapses. It looks as if the Iranians are on a faster track. And the rocket test you showed, the one in February, where Iran put up a rocket and a satellite into space that had a mouse on it. Remember, at the time, I pointed out that Iran is not exactly a leader in rodent research. It was showing its reach in being able to hit any country on Earth. If that was a two-stage rocket intercontinental, you'd need a three-stage if you want to hit the United States. But that is coming, and we know it's coming. And why the administration would cancel a system in Europe, but that would help us. Why it's reducing the number of ground-based launchers in Alaska that would shoot down a Korean rocket, and why it canceled the airborne laser, which is the single most promising technology for shooting a rocket on its way up, which is much better than shooting it on the way down, where it can deploy chaff and a lot of multiple warheads, is incomprehensible to me.
I will say the Pentagon officials say that currently in Alaska they have the ability to cover the continental U.S. and they are looking to put a radar site in Turkey, but that hasn't developed yet either. They say they are covered at this moment with what they have on the ground in Alaska.
But they cut down on the number of interceptors that are actually going to be constructed and added on.
Charles, what do you say to folks out there who may say, listen, we've heard intelligence reports before in the lead up to Iraq that were not accurate. Why should we believe this one?
Look, we have a long history of intelligence reports being inaccurate, but almost exclusively, with the one exception of Iraq, they have underestimated the speed of our adversaries acquiring nukes. They underestimated in the case of Russia in the late 40s, underestimated in China, India, Pakistan, always underestimated. In fact, in the Gulf War in 1991, we had no idea that Saddam had active nuke programs, and we discovered it after the war, to our surprise and our horror. So generally speaking, our history is underestimating. Yes, of course it's inaccurate, but from looking back and into the future, generally speaking, it's going to be an underestimate, with the one glaring exception, of course, of the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. But it should tell you, if you get a report after report, which indicates that Iran is working on its intercontinental missile, and you watch it launching rockets and testing, they are announcing that we are on our way, and it would be denying reality to deny it's going to happen, and rather quickly.